Page 44, Spring Song, the very famous melody by Mendelssohn. Common time or 4/4 time. There's 3 sharps in the key signature. We're in the key of A major here. Make sure you can do the scale for A major, at least 1 octave up and down. I got a video on it. Go do the beginner level, 1 octave. Do the accents and the wrist and the whole, everything I explained in the video. Just take it one hand at a time, because the fingering, we're moving around. It's here, here, and then a thumb. They have you in this book doing this on these chromatics using 2 and 1 a lot. I'd like to kind of get you past that. It's a good skill to have. You need to be able to do it, but there's more. So I'm going to suggest that you stay here. 2, 3, and just reach up little finger. Here. And then at 2, 1. So use that 1, 2, 3 there, not 1, 2, 1. And anywhere else in here you get the same passage, same fingering. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, because you can see the left hand's playing quarter notes and it's playing on the beat, except for the rest. So you can see how the notes in the upper staff line up with those quarter notes, and they come in between. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Crossover. We use 4th finger here because we got an E coming up and we're just getting ready for it. 1, 2, 3. The thumb. 3, like we did before. Go down the last line on page 44. You're here. You can, if you want, use a 4th finger on the C sharp, and then 2 on both of those, 3 on both of those. So again, the last line would be here. You can use 4th finger on that if you'd like, or 5th finger too. It's different ways. And then top of page 45, you reach up an octave. 1, 2, 3. So it's a 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. See, I said before on these chromatic passages, you're liable to use any fingering. It depends on what the music needs. So here it's, yeah, this is good. Just stay. Crossover. Do that again. And then second line. 3, 1. And then 3rd finger. It's a repeated note, so we can do that. And just stay there this time. Their fingering is fine here, but for the next measure. They're saying 3, 1. Hit 3. No, there's a better. Let's try this. Second measure here. Just scratch up a little bit, 5th finger on the C sharp. And then 4, then reach down 2, 5, 2, 1. I don't cross over the thumb at all. So again, 3rd line is here. Scratch up 5, 4, 2, 5, 2, 1. I think that's a little easier than trying to cross over from a 1 to a 3. I mean, sometimes you have to. If you just relax, you can get there. You don't have to turn a lot. You turn a little bit, but not much, and you can get there. Just we don't need to do that here. Then 4th line is broken chords. 1, 2, 3. It's just a 7th chord there. So, and then you come up an octave, do it again. And I use 4th finger, by the way, on the B, so it's here. Because that's the fingering for the chord. That's what I'm going to use. And again, 4th finger, and then again an octave higher if you have the notes. If you have a short keyboard, you just play the highest ones you got. Here, that's close enough. Then it goes back to what you were doing at the beginning. Page 46 is mostly what you've already had. There's a few little changes, but they're minor, and I'm sure you can figure those out. Left hand at the beginning on page 44 is broken chords. 1, 2, 3, 4, just an 8 chord or one chord. 1, 2, 3. During the rest, you come down here. Rest. 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 Bunch of broken chords. As long as you can figure out what the chord. If you don't want your hand up here, then you gotta do a 3, 2 here. Okay. Over on page 45, fourth line down, it's here 1 and 2. It's that thing. I use fourth finger. Some people will use third. If you have little hands, you may have to use third, but I prefer, if you can, use 4, 1 and 2. And then an octave higher, same thing, an octave higher. Okay, and then you're back to doing, all right, put the hands together. Lots of hesitations, don't care. I just want to try and get the hands to work together. So it's here, and then here, and then here. Those come together. To each other, it's lovely. Keep going. And that's it for the most part. Let's go over to page 45 on the fourth line down where we have these broken chords here. You're here, 1 and 2. Don't hold that down. And this hand has to be ready to go. There. So the only note held down is that first one at the beginning of the line. Otherwise, they're all just eighth notes. Then go back and get rid of the hesitation. So it's a steady beat. Could be slow, slow, slow. Slow and boring, because if anybody's listening to you, believe me, they're going to be bored with that one. But that's okay. Let them be bored. You speed it up later. And once you get rid of the hesitations, you got all the notes. Then we can add in, as far as articulation goes, you pretty much just connect it all. There are phrases in here they don't have marked, like in the last measure of the first line. If you want, you can lift up before. It's like a 2 here. The left end you don't lift up, you connect it. Second line, that's it. Here, but don't lift the left hand. Like that, yeah. So there is phrasing in here. If you go listen to people play the actual piece, and you'll hear phrasing. If you want to add that, go ahead. Otherwise, connect everything, pretty much. Dynamic-wise, as to the melody, which is the right hand, soft, whatever you think soft is, you get a little moderately soft, go. You'll just build up to there. The left hand's very soft. Keep it in the background. And you come down, just follow their dynamics. You can do that, I'm sure. The decrescendo at the end of the second line on page 44 here. You're just coming off of a phrase. They're telling you here how to interpret the piece. You don't need that diminuendo there. You should do that anyway, because phrasing you come off at the end of a phrase. Generally, you get a little softer. Not always. There's always exceptions. Don't want to hear the exceptions. Just keep going there. So you do that, and then when you do that, come back up for the phrase. They don't tell you that, but because you're coming down softer. And then you go back up to soft. And then up to moderately soft. Here. So feel this. Get to know it well enough that you feel these dynamics is really the way they should work. Speed. Well, allegretto is the fun speed, and they want you to do it grazioso, graciously. It's a light, wonderful, atmospheric piece. You just do that. Just keep it light all throughout. Think of fairies dancing or something light thing dancing or the clouds dancing, or Just keep it in the light. This is not a drinking song. This is not a heavy duty song. This is just a nice, pleasant song. Now they've added some pedal a little bit. You don't need it, but they've added it. Let's talk about it. On page 45, fourth line down, when you have these, they want you to pedal all that. Not sure why, but they do, so go ahead. Just push the pedal down after you play the note. Lift it up, or leave it down for the whole line, and then lift it up with the hand at the last measure. When you lift that key up, lift the pedal up with it. And then you go on. Now on page 46, they're adding pedal for effect. Well, it is effect. I mean, you could say, well, they want to connect these chords, because the only way to connect chord is with the pedal. This is the last two lines on page 46, but it's more of an effect. Because when you do that, that adds overtones. It's not just connecting the chords, it's adding overtones. That changes the sound. And that to me is more important. I don't have to connect the chords. You know, it's fine. But the overtones is really what I think is the most important here. So it's the effect of the overtones. I'm pushing it down right after I play the note. And I'm lifting it up right after I play the next eighth note. So forth, and then in the last line you're holding it down pretty much for the whole line, and that causes a problem. Watch. So I want a diminuendo in there. It's got a diminuendo. I did a diminuendo with the pedal down, because all that sound just keeps coming. I mean, it dies away slowly, but not enough. So we got to fix that. And we simply do that by changing the pedal. So here, I would like to hear the rests. So I'm going to pedal with the rests on the last two measures. So it's here. If you don't want to hear the rest, then just change it on the last measure. There. That way we get rid of all the other overtones. Now we're just dealing with that. And you can play that very softly, hopefully. Don't use the soft pedal, that's cheating now. Just do it with the hands. Nice, gentle stroke the keys, and they'll come down. Try to get them down at the same time. Takes a little practice, but it's important that you gain that control. There's a page turn in here, and when you're going to play this for people, you got to be able to turn this page without messing up the beat. Maybe you get somebody to turn the page for you. Otherwise, you're pretty much stuck with leaving out notes. We don't like leaving out notes, but the beat is more important. So if you have to, you have to. You can't leave out a melody note. We got to have the melody, which means you got to leave out the left hand somewhere in there. So in the last couple measures or so on page 45, you're here. Maybe in the last measure, instead of playing the notes, or if you want, play the notes in the right hand, an octave higher. Because they're a B and a D, you can do that. You can hold that down. While you're doing that, turn the page real quick. I don't have a lot of suggestions for you on it because you're going to have to turn that page very quickly. Really, you should just memorize the piece. You don't have to worry about it. be careful there because I didn't say anything. On page 46, second line, first measure in the left hand. That is a G natural. It's the third ledger line above as the natural sign takes the sharp away. So you should be able to read that note without me pointing it out anyway. So there you are. I'd like to play this with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any dynamics. And as far as the page turn goes, I'm just going to do pages 44 and 45, and then I'm going to stop. I'm going to turn the page. I'm going to count in again, another 4 counts, and then we'll do page 46. Slowly together. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. Hold, 2, rest, rest. 1, 2. Turn the page. 1, 2, ready, go. Two, 3, 4.